All right, thanks for tuning in to more New York Jets talk on Jets FM on EOFN. Post game of week number 11 for the Jets as they lose once again to the Miami Dolphins because, and I know Coach Saleh wanted to say it, I know he wanted to, the Jets suck. How's everything going, Jan? It was
We can end the
pretty
show
ugly.
on that.
We could.
So, to me, the game turned actually on two plays, two third down plays, two third down penalties,
Yep.
where the Jets defense actually got a stop. And then for some reason, John Franklin Miles, and I think it was Williams, decided to take two steps and hit Tagliabue, which they didn't really hit him hard, but they hit him.
About
And that
time you
was
started
stupid.
saying something about this guy who was paid and ever
Yeah,
since
I
then.
know. You're all over JF.
Well, come on.
Look,
I'm the one who's saying it, so it's time for you to now say something.
He has not lived up to the contract. There you go. Okay? Again, but he wasn't the only one that hit the quarterback there. So even if he hadn't, that was a bad. And then the holding
even
Saleh
called out Franklin Myers.
And then the holding call on just stupidity extended the drive, and both of them ended up in touchdowns. And Jets were their own worst enemies. They shot themselves in the foot, and then obviously, still don't know how the tight end got that open down the left sideline where there was nobody within about 15 yards of him. I'm not quite sure who blew the coverage.
Saleh
Maybe it was
said
Davis.
It was poor eye discipline, something like that. So I think what his point was that the DB was not using his eyes correctly on the play. So the DB screwed up big time.
Yep.
Who got caught in that play? Who was that? Do you recall?
That was Davis who got caught.
Okay.
I thought it was Davis. Davis ended up trying to knock him out, so I'm presuming. He had the deep coverage.
Okay.
But whoever had him just completely let him go. I'm not sure if they were in too deep. I'm not sure if they were in, four cover. I don't know what they were in, but whatever it was, he was wide open. Offensively, look, we saw Elijah Moore is becoming a number one. It's pretty clear. We've talked about it already. He truly is like the weapon. Losing Carter hurt them a lot when he went out. He had one big game, Carter. And then, of course, they get the 39-yarder down to the one. In the first play, they got stuffed, and you just kind of figured, oh, here we go. But they got the touchdown to Crowder. Beyond that, running attack was pretty much nil, non-existent. But
the running game was nil left in the second half when Carter went out. So, yeah, and they really didn't attempt to run the ball much. I haven't looked at the average, but I would imagine the average was pretty good. I don't think they ran the ball much in the second half.
He had a 39-yard run, Carter, so that's going to obviously help the average overall.
I thought the running game looked pretty good early. I didn't think the running game was much of an issue.
They didn't go to it a lot, and I think, you looked at it, there were plays. They were getting yards.
They had the ball almost. There was only one drive they did not cross the 50-yard line. So it was not the offense's base. The offense moved the ball. They just stalled.
And Amendola missing two field goals didn't help matters either.
It's done. He's got to go. You cannot bring him back now. You've got, 4 games left? 5? That's more than enough time to give another guy a chance. It's not like one game. Bring someone else in. Give him 4 or 5. This guy is not going to be our kicker next year, okay? So bring somebody else in, please.
He was 10 for 13 before those 2 misses, right? If he hits those 2, he's 12 for 15, 80%. You're like, okay, now with those 2 misses and the made field goal, he's, I think, 11 for 16 on the year, which is just not acceptable.
No. So that can be replaced. So he needs to be replaced. I was happy to finally, as you can see here on the video screen, I was very happy to see this reaction. We're not going to get his audio, but I just want to look at just while we'll do the show, I'm going to play the video so you can just see his reactions. This was the most upset that he has been, and we saw that when every time the Jets made a dumb mistake during the game, and we got the look at the sideline. It was the first time all season that it looked like he was really upset. Like every time, normally there were bad plays, you just didn't really see it too much. But in this game, every time there was a bad play, boom, they showed Saleh, and you could just see he was steaming. And this is what we've been asking for. So what I've been asking for in these press conferences, I was sick of the smiling. I was sick of this upbeat, always attitude. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. And then, the other interviews later this week and if it changes, but at least this particular press conference, finally I'm starting to see the emotions boil over because he knows he's a good coach and he's sick and tired of not seeing the results on the field.
So the question, though, is whose fault is that? Right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Definitely the coaches.
Friend of mine tweeted me during the game. He goes, "It's the coach." I go, "Yes, you can blame the coaches to a certain extent.
Yes, combination.
Right? But it's both. Coaches aren't telling guys to hit guys after the whistle.
No.
Coaches aren't telling guys to hold guys. I mean, look, part of that's talent. Part of that is coaching. Part of that is the defense not playing up to their capacity, which has been the case, 4 weeks now? The defense has been pretty horrific. I mean, that's got to get on Ulbrich after a certain point in time in terms of the scheme. The defensive line hasn't been good. We've talked about the linebackers a week overall. I mean, I don't think Mosley had a particularly great game today.
Mosley, we've been coddling him for too long. Mosley has not played well. He's just not.
Right.
He had a missed tackle against Azuma against the Bengals that resulted in a first down on a third down that led to a touchdown drive. He missed the tackle on the Dolphins' first touchdown on third down. That should have just been a dump-off pass, tackle, field goal. He misses and whiffs on the tackle. He hasn't done anything. We didn't get C.J. Mosley here to make tackles behind the scrimmage. C.J. Mosley here is here for veteran leadership, which apparently that's going fine, but he's making no plays behind a line of scrimmage. He's making no plays. He got beat on that touchdown pass. What was it, by Gaskin, the last touchdown by the Dolphins? I'm just sick of C.J. Mosley right now as well. He's not helping the cause.
You could say that about a lot of guys. So defensively, look, defensively overall, they struggled, right? I don't think the Dolphins' game plan was anything phenomenal. Waddle got open a lot in the short routes. They didn't make Tua go a lot. Tua didn't really throw the ball a lot, but he completed about 80
and honestly, he should have been sacked 5 times. How many times are they going to get around him and then they just let him get through?
Yep. We had the one long pass we talked about to the tight end, but other than that, it was a lot of dink and dunk, but give him credit. He took what the D gave him. He completed, I think he was up almost about 80% at some point in time. Offensively, as you said, they moved the ball.
Yeah.
They just kept shooting themselves in the foot, either with McGovern had a holding penalty, which cost them a key first down. They had a couple of other stupid penalties. They had the blitzes. They weren't able to pick up the blitzes. I thought Flacco did a good job a couple of times. He had Griffin open in the flat. He got it to him. I think he had Moore. He got it to once. He got it to, I think, Davis once. Crowder had one. But you can see the difference of not having a running attack. Moses went out of the game, then he came back. They started Tardif, who really wasn't noticeable either way. The Dolphins' defense played okay, but they shot linebackers and they shot extra guys like crazy, and the Jets struggled to pick them up, which honestly, that's part of what Flacco needs to do, is to get them into the right pass protections. Look, it
should have been 24-7 at the half, which was the problem.
Right.
So and then as soon as that, it should have been 24-10 because the Dolphins missed a chippy.
Right.
That should have been a 2-touchdown advantage. And when the Jets failed to take advantage, and not just offensively, but again, they were doing a decent job defensively, then you knew eventually the Dolphins were going to put some drives together. And that's exactly what happened in the second half.
Yeah, agreed. So, Flacco did not play a bad game.
No, he was fine.
He played an okay game, but if Mr. Wilson is ready next week, Mr. Wilson needs to be under center.
Oh yeah, no
ifs, no ands, no buts. Don't care about anything else. The goal right now is development of your hopefully number one quarterback for the future. End of discussion. Hopefully Carter is not too badly injured. It's nice seeing Johnson being used. It's nice seeing Ty Johnson and Coleman being used. Just start feeding the ball to Carter again. The guy had put up a lot of big games in a row. He probably would have done it again today. Elijah Moore is clearly the number one receiver there. To me, I don't think they've gone to Corey Davis enough lately. They've been going so much to Moore, which is fine, and they've gone to Crowder periodically, and they've gone to a couple of other receivers. Start getting the ball to Davis again, please. I mean, start utilizing his skills also.
But again, I think a lot of that does have to do with the fact that Crowder is on the team, and next year he won't be. So Moore and then Davis, and then hopefully you bring in a tight end who can catch, and now you have your receivers who should be getting the ball because Crowder, when he gets touches, it's usually like the 6, 7 yard, 8 yard variety, not the big plays down the field. So, but Yeah, they had too many bad plays inside Miami territory. They decided, by the way, not to go for the 56-yarder. That was not a delay on accident. That was on purpose. Salah said he changed his mind, didn't want to go for it.
Well, he had missed a 54-yarder earlier,
Yeah.
I think.
And that was the right call. I didn't think they should have, at that point, they shouldn't have tried it. They gave him a chance, and he didn't make it the first time. And by the way, before that, whatever 65-yard touchdown, 2 plays earlier, they gave up a 2nd and 14 run.
Yep.
For like 20 yards, which is just ridiculous. And that's
the
the other
Gaskin,
thing.
which changed
I'm
the
just
whole
getting
tenor
sick
of
and
that
tired of seeing these open holes for the running backs. It's like if we stop somebody for 2 or 3 yards, that's like supposed to be something good. Like, no, how come? Did we have any stops behind the line of scrimmage today?
I
don't recall. Maybe
I think we had one, maybe 2. I can think of.
And those weren't like penetration plays. Those were like outside kind of plays where guys were getting beat. So that's what look against this Miami Dolphins offensive line and our guys up front. I mean, Quinnen Williams can't have a monster game against this offensive line. Enough of this. Where is this star player we're waiting for? It's just not happening. It's so depressing that just is a big part. I'm also, I don't know if you I get a kick out of the, if you take a look, matter of fact, I could probably show it here because I'm at the website right now. So check this out because I could probably scroll through it. So this is the Jets site on YouTube, and you're probably not going to be able to see it because it's pretty, even if I'm going to try to make them big as possible, but this is what I'm kind of sick of. We're going to get it right and keep fixing it. Let's go down here. We could probably see a lot of it here after one of the games. We're focused on it's a matter of being on the same page. We just got to make plays. We're all in this together. At the end of the day, it's lack of execution. We got to do more. We're a good team. We just need to show up. We couldn't get into rhythm. I'm just sick and tired of these quotes about, I just don't want to hear. I just don't even want to hear from these guys anymore with these quotes. It's like, just enough already. Just do it. It's just so frustrating because you know that it's hard to really blame the team, this coaching staff in general, with all of the injuries that they've had. And it is nice that you're seeing.
That's an excuse. That's an excuse, though.
No,
Everybody's
I'm
got
saying
injuries.
in total.
Every
I'm not going to
team has
lay
injuries.
all of the blame on the coaching staff as bad as the talent that they're dealing with in their first year. Okay? This is his first year as coach. So he's not Bill Belichick sitting there with 20 years of experience.
I don't look. I am not as demoralized as you. I am. My bigger concern is more so Ulbrich in the defense, right? Offensively,
yes, I agree.
Right, there is talent, right? So you look at Moore. You've added Carter. Those are 2 guys you've added in this year's draft. You got Corey Davis, who you've added. You hope you have Zach Wilson.
We don't need any more help on offense.
Right.
Offense is done.
Vera Tucker, right? You hopefully have our big left tackle, which honestly, I'm wondering if we're going to see him again this year. And the problem is here, it's great if you have the talent. If you can't stay on the field, I don't give a darn how much talent you have. It's not worth a damn nickel.
Might have to trade him
to stay on the field.
And let me tell you, we said this before the season. Is he the right fit for this offensive scheme? I don't think so. He's too big. This offensive scheme is about rhythm and movement. He's not a movement guy.
It's hard to tell because he's been out so much. It's really hard to tell. But you look, presuming Becton that's 6 guys already I just named, right? They're
fine on offense. I got no problem with the future of the offense.
Right there, right? Yes. Defensively, you go, okay, well, what now, right?
Yes.
I don't think Mosley's going to be back, at least as of right now.
Who?
I mean, even though we signed Mosley, I don't know if he'll be back.
What do you mean be back? What do you mean? Is it going to trade him?
He's signed. They may get rid of him.
No, they're not going to get rid of him.
Have you seen anything so far to warrant the contract?
Look, they're just not going to because they're going to want to. First of all, that they're going to add 6 more impact guys to free agency in the draft on defense.
So who do you have right now? You have Franklin Myers because he's signed, right?
Yes.
You got Quinnen Williams because he's there.
Yes.
You probably have
Fatukasi.
You got Fatukasi.
Yes.
Okay.
You got Mosley and you got Davis, and I think that would be it.
Okay, that's 5.
Yeah, I think that's it. And then the Lawson, of course.
Lawson, when he comes back, and you don't know what's going to be with May, if he'll ever be back at all.
Well, I'm talking. I want to start in the front 7 because that's. I would say, what do we have? 6
Well,
guys in the front 7.
Davis is in front 7. Davis is on the back.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about the back.
Okay.
I didn't say Davis.
Because you mentioned
no,
Davis.
I was mentioning the linebacker Davis.
Okay.
So those, let's just say those are our 6 guys that we know will come back next year.
They're not making plays now. Those
what
guys
I'm
aren't
saying
making
is,
plays.
I'm starting off with is,
Okay.
that's all. Okay, that's all we got, which means that we're going to have to add at least 3 or 4 more guys up front just to start with. And let's not even start about the secondary. So we're going to have to add like 5 or 6 guys because we've got a ton of guys. And I'm not talking about when we're healthy. I think we have enough young players, but we're never healthy. So we have to add at least 5 or 6 more players to that back end.
Well, you've lost Eccles, right? And you lost May. Those
yes.
are 2
and May not be back. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look, if everybody was healthy, it's May, it's Joyner, it's Lawson. It's like, hey, this defense, that's the thing that really, why I hate injuries, because it's wasted our season on defense. We can't get a true evaluation of these guys when some of the most key guys are out. It's just so hard. Yep. And the only thing that has been okay is that it's gotten all these young players experience. And let's just hope that the Eccles and the Halls, Davis hasn't done much, so I don't think he's even a part of our future. I don't think unless they're going to do something else with him, he hasn't done anything. Right. Throw in Pinnock is getting some time now, and Guidry, and so forth and so on. So I think those guys are fine, but we're going to need a handful of other guys, definitely some veterans. Okay, I think we have enough young players now. Free agency needs to be about getting 4, 5, 6 year veterans and sprinkling them on the back 7, not $5-10 million players, even just $3 to $5 million players, guys that have experience, guys that when there are injuries, they can come on the field for a week or 2 and you won't give up 50 points. So those types of guys we lack. We have, because when one of our young guys gets hurt, we have another young, inexperienced, and even less talented player that comes in behind him. So
I agree.
That's
right now the hope is they have a high draft pick. So
yes.
You hope Seattle.
Where are we right
Seattle,
now? Where were we?
I think we were in the 4 to 6 range is my guesstimate.
So
in that
we're
range.
Probably going to get definitely top 5. No question about that. So
all I'm saying, though, is your hope is that all the issues Seattle's have had, even though Wilson is back, you're hoping they continue, right? Because we have their first-round pick.
Yeah, but they'll be between 10 and 15 no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So,
but again, you have 2 in the top 10 to 12.
Hey, that's awesome.
Lot different than what you expected when we got the pick.
No question
Seattle,
about it.
Because most people are talking in the 20 to 25 range.
No question. We got a big break there. Absolutely.
Right. So all I'm saying is your hope is that the issues that are existing in Seattle, which Chris Carson's out for the rest of the year, Wilson doesn't seem to be in sync with a lot of guys right now, even though he's back. Defensively, they've still struggled a little bit. You're hoping all those keep manifesting itself the next 4 or 5 weeks or so, and that the positioning that they're in is the position that they sort of end up in. Even if they improve slightly, you end up 2 in the top 15, let's say, at the worst.
Yes. And if that happens, then we're in really good shape.
And then you have the other picks also.
We've got we got the middle, and that's why
but Douglas needs to hit. He
has been hitting. How much more do you want him to hit? I mean, you have a problem with this past draft class.
You got Carter.
Yes.
You got Moore.
Yes.
We're hoping on Wilson.
Of course.
Right.
Vera Tucker.
Eccles is clearly
Vera Tucker.
Vera Tucker, we knew already when we took him, we liked him.
It doesn't matter. He's good. So they're all good.
Okay.
Eccles is getting some playing time, and he's been okay he's been drafted. Carter, the defensive back, has looked good since he's been so the class is fine. And I have no problem at all with this draft class at all. Obviously, it's all going to be upon Zach Wilson.
Yep.
That'll define the class.
Bad memory. But Kyle Wilson's a bad memory from years ago.
Who is Kyle Wilson?
Don't you remember the safety they drafted in the first round?
Did we draft a safety in the first round
Yes,
named Kyle
safety or
Wilson?
cornerback, Kyle Wilson. Yes,
Where was he
many years
from?
ago. I don't even remember anymore, but he's gone. He's out of the league.
Kyle Wilson. All right. So, yeah. So I look again. That's not where I have faith that Douglas is going to continue to add good young players to this team. The bottom line is, it's just frustrating that, and this is not good for the coaching staff in general. That even though there's new young guys off the street that are playing every week, when you see Franklin Myers and some other guys, because that's the thing, whether it's Ashton Davis or Franklin Myers, guys that aren't the guys off the street making stupid plays, not in their assignment, then that's a reflection on the player and the coach. And therefore, if the coach believes it's more on the player, then let's do something about that.
I
So
agree.
they better do something about that, because, like I said, I think that once again, you could just see here, Salah, he's got that look like of just utter frustration, and he is he
Oh, he was perturbed on the sideline today.
yes. So
He was clearly animated.
now who
He
they
was more like the defense. He was more like the defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh, on the sideline
And that's
today.
the thing that is the biggest look. We all agreed that it made a lot more sense. It's always better for the coach to come here and try to be the head coach. And he's got that type of you look at him and you go, yeah, I can see him being a really good leader of men. But I don't know. I don't know if he shouldn't be running the defense. That's the thing. I just don't know.
That may be a decision that they determine in the offseason. It's not going to be now.
No. And
Doing it now, to my opinion, is counterproductive. There's just no benefit to it at this point in time.
And I just get the feeling it's not going to happen in the offseason either. I think when it'll
Well,
happen early in the season in 2022 if things aren't going well.
I agree.
Because he's going to be loyal to Ulbrich. He's going to give everybody a pass because of the injuries. And if things don't get off to a good start next season, then that's when changes will be made. So, look, I hope that's not the case. I don't want to see him calling the defense. He's your head coach. He should be just worried about coaching. But if that's what has to, happen to fix things, then great. That's it.
So let me ask a question. If you had the draft all over again, knowing everything we know now, right?
Yeah.
You still are you taking Wilson or are you taking Mac Jones?
Mac Jones would never work out here.
I said
I said this at the beginning of the season. I said Mac Jones was going to probably look better than any other rookie because he had not only experience at Alabama, but he also will go into the best situation. And that the one thing, though, to keep in mind is that even though I believe Mac Jones is going to get the earliest attention, I still don't believe he's going to end up as the best of the class. It's going to be one of the other guys, Lawrence, Zach. It could be Fields. It could be Lance. I still think those guys are going to play well. I think in time, this is going to be looked at as a very good class. But Mac Jones is just in the best situation with the perfect fit. And everybody just wants to go crazy. The national media, you know how they are. Oh, Mac Jones. Everybody missed out on Mac Jones.
He's been very good.
Because if you put Zach Wilson or even Trevor or any of these quarterbacks with the Patriots system, they're just not going to play this way. It's just they can't fit this system. They just don't. Those guys want to run Fields and Lance. They got to use their athleticism. Trevor Lawrence, even he's erratic still with his accuracy, but Jones is a very accurate passer, and cerebrally. If that's a word, his smarts, his intelligence through the roof. Those other guys, they'll get to be intelligent within the next couple of years, but that's where Mac Jones excels. So no, look, it still has the makings of a great AFC East group at quarterback to contend with once, hopefully, Zach gets older and better, and we'll see if Tua stays with the Dolphins or not. That's the thing. I don't know. Deshaun Watson's going somewhere, and it's either Carolina or probably Miami.
With all the legal issues still swirling around him, it's going to be awfully hard for a team to take a shot on him.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to go somewhere at some point. Now, when that is,
I
who
don't know
knows?
when that is.
So they can't keep this thing up forever, you know. And if it's done before the draft, Miami's got some draft collateral,
Yep.
so they could still
Well,
pull
it may
off that
depend
trade.
also how well Tua may depend on how well Tua plays the next couple of weeks. Also,
Yeah, and I wasn't really that impressed with Tua today. You know, he's okay. You know, but you know, he's just so bad with his deep passing. He's more of a rhythm underneath kind of guy. But
hmm
it's hard to blame
and the
Tua.
Jets let him beat him that way.
Well, that's of course they're not going to stop anybody. All
No,
right, so who'd you say we play next week? Because I didn't even.
Houston, the
Oh, the
Texans, Houston,
Texans. Okay, great. All right.
with Taylor back at quarterback.
Well, you know, it's. I don't even care. I don't even care. They won, and where's the game?
I think it's in Houston.
If we lose to Houston, that's embarrassing. So, all right, we'll talk about that game and more coming up. And Carter, by the way, will hopefully get a read on him within the next 24 hours.
I'm
Hopefully,
just
he's
hoping
okay.
it's not. I'm hoping it's not high ankle.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anything like that. If we hear anything like that, it's like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But hopefully, he's okay. Other than that, hey, draft collateral. You know, our draft status just got better. So there's that. And by the way, I have the face there of Elijah Moore on the screen for a reason because he had another great day. He was
great.
he was our
He
player
was
of the game.
phenomenal.
So
He was by far.
he's starting to live up to that preseason accolades that we heard. You know, he disappeared the first half of the season, but it's great to see him looking like the guy that we expected, and that's awesome. So
Agreed.
Good draft pick there. All right, Jan, appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Maybe. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving as well, and good luck to your Rangers because they're playing pretty well, aren't they?
They're playing. They're playing Buffalo right now tonight. So yes, they're playing pretty well.
Playing better than Vancouver. So
That is for sure.
such is my life as a sports fan. All right, we'll talk to you again soon, Jan.
Sounds good.